was it about yourself that you saw that you didn't like?
I lost my ex-wife to ego.
May 11, 2019. What are your memories of that day?
3 o'clock in the morning, I get a call from Port's twin. Didn't answer it, and he called again. Didn't answer it. Third time I answered it, and he said, "Who's just passed?" Didn't register that. I said, "What?" I said, "Poor passed away." On the floor, with my eyes just like angry. It was during COVID. Like I lost my shit, and I just hit the table and stormed out of there. And I was just pissed off with myself.
When you say ego, were you unfaithful at the time?
Yeah, very much so.
You're known as the hunky actor.
Seeing this woman, just all that gone, just watching TV, and I know she was lost in there. It's just like every time I do look at her, it's just it breaks my heart.
What do you think happens when you die?
But to answer your question, when you asked me a question, are you happy with yourself? I was like, yeah, I am actually.
Oh, good, you're here. Come on. This is the centre of performance. Whenever there's a top performance in New Zealand, it all comes from here. That's Lisa Carrington. She's been doing that for days. That's the boy who got the hole-in-one in Tokyo. Oh, he did it again. Hey, Finn, how's the performance going?
Top tier.
Nice. This is our Generate room. In here, you'll find our top performers helping Kiwis maximise their KiwiSaver investments. Get in here, Finn. Maximise.
Right,
Generate. Putting performance first.
Robbie Magasiva.
Hi, Dom. Hi, Dom Harvey.
Finally, I wore you down.
Trying to think how long ago I got a first DM for me. Bro, do you want to be in? Because, no, I'm not interested. And then, back in the country, he said, he's here. So I'm here.
I appreciate it. You said in the office just a second ago you're nervous. Why are you nervous?
Dude, I'm always nervous. Well, like I said to you before, I said, you're my second podcast. I don't often do it. And mainly because I find myself really boring. Because the first one I did was Mandate. And again, I said to the boys, bro, I've got nothing to talk about. But it's as we got into it, things started to come out. I started to open up, which was really hit a few people, actually, that Mandate one with me. So I thought, okay.
Did you get yourself in trouble? No. Or did
No.
people agree with? Because I listened to that the other day. I've been on the Mandate podcast as well. They do a great job. It was very thorough.
Yeah.
It was like a 2.5 hour chat that you had with them.
Yeah.
And there were like a lot of things that you said, like talking about how proud you are of being a man. And I thought, to a lot of people, this could be a hot take.
Well, I thought that when I said it at the time, but I didn't get any grief about that. I just kind of owned it. I wasn't. That's where I still, I'm a proud man kind of thing, but I'm also, it doesn't mean I'm a sexist or anything. I understand where people are and I accept that. But as if you ask me who I am, this is who I am as a man, and I'm proud to wear that badge.
Well, I appreciated the authenticity. Like, you agreed to come on my podcast before I'd heard the Mandate one, and after hearing the Mandate one, I thought, this podcast is going to be great because Robbie is unapologetically himself, and he's at his age and stage in his life where he doesn't give a fuck about what he says. He speaks his truth.
Yeah. Well, let's hope.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
So you're back. Just to timestamp this, we're recording this over the summer break, 2025/2026, and you're living in LA at the moment. So you're back here for a limited time only.
No, yeah. Well, I kind of moved over. I moved over in end of 2023 because my kids, both of them live in Melbourne. One is in France at the moment, making her way back to Melbourne. And I thought, I've got nothing else. And it was also a period of my life that I kind of needed to leave. I think when that podcast, when Mandate happened, I was in a period of my life where shit was happening to me. And then and I just come out of that end of 2023. And I thought, no, in my heart I said, I need to leave here. I think I need to be away so then I can appreciate this, being here again, because I had no appreciation for it. And mainly all the shit that happened to me leading up to that.
What was happening to you?
Oh, dude, it was a relationship thing, all that stuff. But, that's buried now in the past, and we move on. Okay.
Yeah, there's a quote from you in the Christchurch Press in March 2024.
Oh, shit. What did I say?
And I wonder if this, I bring this up because I wonder if it brings, if it's connected to what you're talking about, the shit happening to you. Man, the last 3 years have been a struggle. I had to sell all my shit. I had to sell my car and some of my bikes just to make ends meet. I was just watching that bank account go down and down, and people have this perception of, oh man, you're an actor, you're rich. Far from it. Is that connected to Was it like a career slump as well?
It was a career slump as well. Like everything happened at once. My relationship ending, and then just not having work for about a year. I mean, I was getting bits and bobs, and all I'd accumulated. I mean, I love my toys, and I bought that when the back end of having 9 seasons on Wentworth, you know. But then the reality hit when Wentworth finished, and then there was just no work for about 2 years, which is like, and then luckily I had those to sell so I can, you know, make ends meet. But it was just like, it was funny though, because being in that dark place, or where shit happens, I which I think I said on the podcast, I learned a lot about myself, and now I'm prepped for it. Like this year, no, I've only worked once. But I know I'm careful with my money because I was terrible with my money. I've got people that look after my money now, and it's working for me. So now I can, even though I'm not working and I get anxiety about not working, I know that I'm okay. I'm going to be okay for a few years. All I need to do now is get a job next year so I can fill up the bank.
I mean, it builds character, it builds resilience, adversity and going through the stuff, but fuck, it's never fun at the time.
No.
It sucks.
It sucks. But I came, you know, but I'm proud. I have to say I'm proud of myself from going through that, because, you know, you hear horrible stories about people getting there and not having the support or not having a way to deal with that, and, you know, they end up choosing a road that I've never, you know.
Well, how you may not want to answer this, and like there's no stitch-ups or gotchas here, so you don't have to answer anything or whatever. Yeah. But so you're on the show Wentworth for like 9 seasons, 100 episodes or something. Yeah. Your core cast. You must have been earning good money, right?
It was okay.
Yeah.
Well, when I first landed that role, compared to what I was earning here, it was big money. It was big. It wasn't. Well, it wasn't as big as some of the what the women were getting, because they're well known in Australia. I was just this little Kiwi that I happened to have landed the role. So it generally, I mean, as the season went on, I think I got a slow raise, but it was never. It was good money, but it wasn't anywhere near what the women were getting. Yeah.
I believe around this time you thought about quitting. I heard a couple of different interviews. One, you said you talked about becoming a firefighter. Another one, I heard you talk about becoming a personal trainer. How close were you actually to?
Well, the last season of Wentworth, it was during COVID, and I was away. I was away from my family for a few months because I couldn't leave the country. Actually, Wentworth wouldn't allow me to leave because of the restriction. They were nervous that I wasn't able to get back into the country to finish the season. So I ended up being stuck there for about 6 months, I think it was, away from my family. And then there was a thing that happened on set. I turned up to set, and I did this scene, and I remember learning my lines leading up to that scene. There was one line I just couldn't get. And I left home, went on set, and I knew inside me, because fuck, I'm not going to get this. Anyway, we come to that scene. Sure enough, didn't hit it. Stuffed up my line. We had ended up doing about 15 takes, and that's a lot for a fast run turn. And I got to a point that I lost my shit, and I just hit the table and stormed out of there. And I was just pissed off with myself. And I know the first AD was a good mate of mine. He just looked at me and goes, bro, just get as much out, and then they can edit. So I did that. After I walked away from that, and I said to myself, no, I don't want to do this shit again. I had anxiety turning up to set from then on. And I think we had probably a month left to shoot. I was anxious every time I got up, and never happened to me before. And I got anxious turning up to set. I got anxious about learning lines and stuffing up my lines. And then by the end of that, I left. I came home. When I finally did come home, I said, no, stuff this. I don't want to do this anymore. And I rang my agent, my Australian agent. I said, look, I don't want to do this anymore. And she said to me, look, take the rest of the year off, all right? And then we can have this conversation at the end of the year. If that's what you want to stick with, yep. Then I accept and I respect that. But if not, then we continue this journey. But you look after yourself, work on yourself, take a breakaway. And I think 8 months I did that. And so during that 8 months, I explored being a firefighter, what the options that or a PT. I didn't have any qualifications when I left school. I only qualified in acting and rugby. So at the end of that, I'd done all the work I needed to do, and then she said, "Okay, let's do it again." And then she started slowly getting me little jobs just to,
Ease
you back into it.
Well, that moment on Wentworth with the line that you couldn't get right, what was that about? It wasn't about the line, was it? Like you've been acting your entire adult life.
Exactly. I think it was just the back end of Wentworth. I did not enjoy the last season of Wentworth. I didn't enjoy actually. I got into a point where I just didn't enjoy going to work. I enjoy seeing the people, but I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't like the way my character, where they wrote my character, the arc that they had, because I'd turn up every season and they said, we're going to do this, this and this. And it would never happen. So by the end of it, I was just like, I'm over it. I don't want to do this anymore. So it was a combination of that, also being away from my family for 6 months, not allowing to leave. And then that event there was just, it's where it kind of exploded, and I said, "No, stuff this. I don't want to do this."
I wonder if the COVID lockdowns had something to do with it. Melbourne was the worst city in the world to be locked down, right? It was like the longest city in the world.
Because the thing is, in Australia, you couldn't go. Here you were allowed to go outside, right, and get some fresh air. In Australia, you weren't. They weren't given that time. They were stuck in their hotel room or wherever the whole time they were there. Wow. It was full on. But I remember we also had Zoom here because everyone was in quarantine at that time. I was in Hamilton. Some people were in Sydney somewhere. But we would have Zooms. That Zoom was really popular back then. I have anxiety about that, about COVID.
Oh, so do I.
Dude.
So do I. If there's ever an opportunity to do a remote podcast, I sort of turn it down because it just, I don't know, I find it just reminds me of like a COVID thing.
Yeah. Like I've my parents are here at the moment and I got an Airbnb in town and I thought it was a 3-bedroom, but it was a 2-bedroom. So it was me, mum and dad, myself and my sister. And I got so claustrophobic and it took me back to quarantine time. I was like, I hate this. I hate this thing. At the time, we just survived, as humans, we survive. But back then, I was like, I never want to go through that shit again. Never.
Geez, the podcast is already off to a great start.
Is it?
It's some real honesty and some vulnerability early on. I promise it's not going to be all bleak. There's going to be some fun stuff.
I like bleak. Hit me with bleak.
Okay. Well, I've got another quote from you, from that same article in the press, March 2024. When I went to that place, I saw stuff about myself that I didn't like, but I don't think that I would have healed properly if I hadn't gone through that tough time. What was it about yourself that you saw that you didn't like?
A lot of it had to do with ego. For a long. I'll be as honest as my ego. I lost my ex-wife to ego.
You've only been married once.
I've only been married once, and that was a few years ago.
Yeah.
But ego ruined that relationship for a long time. It was just ego, but also not being able to see, because you see stuff when you're that low, because I think the rest of the world just covers everything. I'm not making any sense here, but at the time I just didn't see shit about myself, and when you're that deep in depression, and it's like, oh, okay, there it is, But a lot of it had to do with my ego. So.
That's some good self-reflection.
Yeah.
I think when we get to our 50s, you can acknowledge it.
I think I've always been honest with stuff. Even I surprised myself on that other podcast and how much it did come out. I think at that time as well, I just needed an outlet. So it surprised me when we started talking and stuff was just coming out, and I said, "Oh, okay."
It's like pulling a thread of cotton on.
Yeah. And we're now I'm in a period of my life where I'm really good. Work has dried up a little bit, but that's to expected. The career that I've chosen. But other than that, my kids are healthy. I enjoy life. I love being here. I love living in the States. And so life is good. Touch wood.
Yeah. So you, for your ex-wife, has she forgiven you, or more importantly, have you forgiven yourself?
I've forgiven myself.
Yeah.
I did. I did. I mean, yeah, I did apologise. I did say to her, "I'm sorry for the way I was or the way I treated you." Very early on, after we broke up, and we still stay. Well, I don't keep in contact as much anymore. She actually used to work up there. What's the radio?
Media Works?
Media Works. She used to work up there. So every time I did come up, she doesn't work there anymore, but every time I do come up, I text and see if she's around for coffee. But yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. But she's moved on. She's better out without me.
Were you, when you say ego, were you unfaithful at the time?
Yeah, very much so.
I think you've got to cut yourself some slack. I was thinking about this I went for a run this morning and I was thinking about this. It's like, your good looks, it's probably a blessing and a curse. Like me, I've never had an issue with that because...
you know what, Dom? I don't consider myself good looking. It's bizarre.
Come on, you're known as the hunky actor.
I'm an old guy. I'm an old fart now. No, I mean, it has helped in my career, but... There are days, like I look at like, at the moment I've kind of let myself go a little bit because since I've been here, all I've eaten is fish and chips and mince and cheese pie because I can't get them over there. But there are times I do look at myself and goes, oh my gosh, seriously, what do people see in that?
But you know, there's that saying. I think it's kind of a punchline that a man is only as faithful as his options.
Yeah.
And peak Robbie Magasiva, like there would have been unlimited options. I'm not excusing your poor behaviour.
No, I'm not excusing, but it's surprising. I was surprised by that.
So what does life look like in LA now? Where do you live? Are you Silver Lake?
Dude, I'm near Silver Lake. I'm in K-Town, Koreatown.
You enjoy it?
Love it. It surprised me. It really did surprise me. Because my partner, I actually met my partner on the show that I did. And so one of the other main reasons for me moving over there was because of it. It was just great timing.
Is this the show Rescue High Surf?
Yeah. So at the time when she worked, it was a pilot called Kenui Road for HBO. So that HBO didn't pick it up. So there was a lull, and then the production shopped it out, and that's when Fox came on and then turned it into Rescue High Surf. But I met my current partner on Kenui Road. So, and we did the long distance things for 2 years. And then 2023 I moved over when before Rescue High Surf. And I love it. I was surprised by that. But I think what it is, why I love it, is because she's taken away the guessing game. Because I remember flying into LA, so the amount of times I have flown into LA, and you said it's so vast.
It's massive.
It's sprawling. Massive. And it freaks me out every time. But now I look down and go, that's home. That's home for me. And it was just recently that I started calling LA home.
Wow.
Because for a long time I just called NZ home.
Is there a Kiwi contingent there that you hang out with?
There is. There's Frankie Adams. She lives in Silver Lake. And then there's Ra and Grace Palmer who live in Los Feliz. That's it. And then I've got another friend, Tongan actor Uli. He lives in the valley. So that's all I want. I don't want any more Kiwis in that. Oh, and my mate Vanessa Cater, she's been there for a few years. She's a stuntie. So that's about it, really.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, should we go back to the early years?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, so May 21st, 1972.
Yeah, came into the world.
So you're born in Wellington?
Born in Wally.
There for 5 years? And then you moved back to Samoa?
We moved to Samoa, yeah.
And then back to New Zealand when you were about 10?
Yeah.
Why?
Dad.
Okay.
Dad was offered a job as a bank manager over there. I think so. I think Dad will be watching this. Correct me, but I'm going to say bank manager. So we went back. And also I think... God, I should have checked with Dad about this. Also, Dad had this had asthma, so he was really affected by the climate here. So possibly that was one of the reasons we left. But I know that he got a job back there and he wanted to go home. So we all went back. Well, me, Steve, Mickey, and then the twins came later. Yeah, during there.
That must have been a weird time. So you're born in New Zealand 5 years. What memories do you have of those first 5 years?
My memory, well, because I born here, first language was English. We went over to Samoa, and my fondest memory was just living in a shack. It was basically a shack because what had happened was Dad got given a little bit of land in Upolu, which is to a place called Tarumapua, which is what Pua's named after. So there was nothing, it was just bush. So Dad built this little shack. But I remember it was just like, it was just candle and us around. It was just this freaking simple shack that Dad had built just so we can live there. And then throughout the years, he just worked on the land and planted cocoa. But and also walking to school. So our house used to be out the place called Tarumapua, and we used to walk. So the nearest bus stop was probably about a 40 to 45 minute walk. Catch the bus, go to school, come back, and then ate it again. But when I left there, I lost the English and I was fluent in Samoan. So.
Yeah, what was that like, coming back to New Zealand at 10? That must have been quite the culture shock.
I was teased a lot. But you know what I do remember was when we got off the plane, the escalators. I'd never seen an escalator before. I went, I thought, wow, what is this?
Magic staircase.
It's magic staircase. It took me a while to get on it. But once I was on it, I was like, whoa.
What the hell?
But I hadn't, so we came back here. We spent a little bit of time in Auckland, and then we moved down to Wellington, and we stayed with my cousins. And we shared the house with them. They had a three-bedroom place, and there was 4 of them and 5 of us. So all the boys, about two of the eldest were in one room, and then all the rest of the boys would be in one room. And then mum and dad in one, But it was, throughout the time, my cousin, my best mate as well, was the one that actually slowly taught me how to speak English, kind of thing. But it came back again because it's that memory thing.
Muscle memory.
Yeah, muscle memory.
Is this when you were embarrassed about your nose? You wanted like a skinny, palangi nose?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Isn't it
That's
fucked up?
really fucking sad.
That's fucked up, eh? Sorry, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah. But when you hear that or think back to that, does it make you sad?
Well, going to school, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Because I got going to school because I was also getting teased, and at the time I didn't think it was racism, but it was, and then thinking back and goes, fuck, that is quite full on. But I remember just the kids, I was looking at all those Balangi kids and all this perfect pointy nose. And I remember I used to be in the mirror just going like this. How do I make my nose that pointy? For a long time.
That's sad.
Yeah. I did just, and then, yeah.
And your parents are still alive? They're in New Zealand at the moment, but they're Samoa based?
Yeah, they are Samoa based. Mum and Dad always wanted to go back to Samoa when their kids grew up and stuff like that. So they now live in Samoa full time. They're currently here at the moment for health reasons. So if Dad gets cleared, they'll go back to Samoa. At the moment I'm dealing with, the family's dealing with mum's dementia. Right. So that's been tough. So this time around here, I came back to give my brother, who lives up in Lee, and who's been him and his partner have been absolutely fantastic in terms of looking after mum. But my hero is my sister, who decided to give up her work just to look after mum and dad full time, and it's been a godsend. So she's been amazing. So mum and dad is here at the moment. He just had surgery, had infection in his prostate, so that's all should be cleared. So once they clear, they go back. But mum at the moment, we're just going through that, man. It's tough to see I call her my superhero. She's my superhero.
Yeah, I've got that written down here.
Yeah.
So she was, you tell us about your mum. So she's a cleaner. She was a cleaner.
She was a cleaner for a very long time.
When was the last time you had some of her chicken curry?
A long time.
Really?
That she cooked, because she can't remember how to cook it now. It was a very long time ago I had it. Probably about, about 6 or 7 years ago I last had a curry.
Oh, she really no good now?
She knows who we are, but her long short-term memory is gone. you tell her one thing. I mean, you tell her something and she'd be gone like that.
How old is she?
She's young too. I'm sorry, Mum. Sorry, Dad. 74, 75, right. Yeah.
That is young on the big scheme.
That is young.
Yeah.
And she's tough too. She's strong. And that's the depressing thing is she's still, apart from the arthritis she has in keeping, she's strong. Physically stronger. Dad is a little bit more frail. But he will get there. But yeah, it's just that's being around that has been tough. It's been really, really tough. There were times there were times that I'll be just sitting there, she'll be there, and I know she's not there. So seeing this woman that was just fearless, funny, caring, loving, just all that gone. I'm very much like my mum, and I was just watching TV, and I know she was lost in there. It's just like every time I do look at her, it's just it breaks my heart. But I'm grateful that she still knows who I am. She still knows who my brothers are, my sister, Dad. So I'm grateful for that, and I hope she's that. Till the day she leaves, she still remembers who we are. So yeah, it's been tough. And then, even tougher when we went to look at a possible home for her. And that was the first time I've been in a home. Fuck. Heartbreaking, man.
Just because it represents the loss of independence?
Just independence, but even the people that were in there, they were just, because it was a
you're going there to die, aren't you? It's
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, shit. And I was just watching these people just sit there, watching these, people who had lives and just sitting there. That's their day, just sitting there, And the reality is, they need that, they need that otherwise. But it was just, it was definitely sad.
Have you got the chance to have all the conversations with your mum that you needed to and say the things you needed to while she was still able to comprehend? I've heard you talk about her like on other podcasts and read some interviews, and you speak.
No. I think probably leading, probably 2018 was probably or 2019, just after 2019, I had a conversation with her, and then and I also think that the passing of my bro accelerated that for her.
How could it not?
Yeah. So, but to answer your question, which is a really good question. I don't know the last time I had a proper conversation with she understood what I said. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the tears before, I think they just show how much you care and the impact, which I think is a good thing, right?
Yeah, she's my hero. She's my absolute hero, And Dad, and it's funny because later on, this Dad made some silly mistakes, but I forgiven him for that, and I'm, yeah. Now it's just like I've seen my dad in a new light now. The care and love that I have for him, because I blamed him for a lot of things, which I don't, without getting into it.
We don't just get into the weeds. Yeah, I've heard, I think it was the Mandate podcast or another interview where did you ever hear that? Like you called him a dreamer.
He was.
And you said there's a family joke like, don't get in the trap. And the trap is like getting in a one-on-one conversation.
Like my dad, seriously, who was it? For a long time, he loves to chat about things.
We all know someone like that.
Yeah, and now I appreciate that. But I remember my mates would come. When I was a teenager, my mates would come around, and I would always say to him, "Dude, don't get caught in the trap, because once you get caught, mate, that's it. I can't help you. You're on your own." A few of my mates have been caught, and they'll be giving me the side. I go, "No. Told you. I walk away from it. But who was it? It was I caught up with a good friend of mine last night, and Dad had written a post. The thing is with Dad, he's so articulate. He's so articulate. And I think my brother Mickey has got a little bit of dad. You know, he's proud of the fact that he was the only one in his family that went to university. And he did. And he's proud of that. But I also think he's a lot more. What I feel bad about now is I wish I'd listened to him a lot more about because he's got such knowledge in his brain, which I now am trying to get him. And I think all of us are saying to him, Dad, you need to write all that down. So he wants me to buy him a computer, a laptop, so he can write all that. Because he's got this history of a knowledge and history of our family that no one else knows about. And I said to him, put that down, put that down. And I never used to appreciate that. But now I appreciate him for that. And it's just 10 times, he's a million times more articulate than I am. But he loves,
That's good. I think you get to that point in life, where you realise that, your parents, regardless of how awesome or how fucked up they were, they're doing the best they could.
They did. And
your kids in their mid to late 20s now, they've probably got some chip on their shoulder about how...
Oh, hell yeah. My son has. He's even told me. I said, that's just part of it. Sorry, son, but that's just part of it. Yeah. But I really appreciate the old man now, And that's the one thing. I see, we had that. Someone else is telling me. The thing is, as growing up, we had 5 boys. There was 5 boys in our family, and then my sister came later on. But during that time, we never went hungry. Never. We were always clothed. We had a roof under. We were never struggling. I never saw that. There was always food there. So, and plus with everything else. So I thank my parents for that. I had a good life as a kid, There's shit happens, but that's with any other family. But I remember looking back and goes, you know what? We never struggled. Mum and Dad, if I asked for money, Mum and Dad will always have money for me for school and stuff like that. There was never a trip I couldn't go because we couldn't afford it. We always had school uniform. We always fed. So I said, and I never kind of realised that until I spoke about it with someone else the other day, And it was actually my mate last night I was talking to, and he was saying, man, your dad is very articulate. Like my dad and my other brother Tanu are very and my Mickey actually are very, very articulate. I missed out on that boat. I also missed out on rhythm. I don't have rhythm. I missed everything.
You've mentioned your brother Mickey a few times. A little sidebar here. So he's in the industry as well.
Yeah.
He made one of the greatest movies of 2025 in New Zealand.
Yep. He should have won the award for best film.
This is Tina.
I'm saying it.
How do I say it? I'm saying
Tina, which is mother.
Yeah, about a Samoan music teacher in Christchurch during the earthquakes. I had, I think it was the leader of the opposition, Chris Hipkins, on the podcast this year. I asked him when the last time he cried was, and he said it was watching that movie. So I got it on Apple that night, and if you watch that movie and you don't cry, you need to get a medical checkup.
Dude, I've seen it 6 times, and every time I cried. Every time. And I remember seeing it for the first time, actually. It was me, Mum, Dad, and my daughter, Sophie. I bawled my eyes out, and I am so proud of him. Because I know also that he's had to fight to get to where he is now. I know for a long time he was in the advertising industry. And he worked for a production company for a very long time. And he just bit his time, kind of thing. And he wanted to create, his whole dream was to become a filmmaker. And he did that, But I know the road. I know how hard it was for him to get to where he is now. Just watching people surpass him and not realizing that, dude, you're letting other people surpass a guy that's actually better than these guys. So for him to, the thing is with Tina, it was never expected to get an Aussie release. And then when I got an Aussie release, on top of that, I got a US release. So it went way beyond anything that he had ever expected. But it was also the wonderful thing about Tina is it brought families back to the theatre. Theatre they're struggling to get numbers in there. But Tina brought everyone back in there,
How did you feel when you watched it, knowing it was your brother as the brains behind it, but also, I suppose, on a deeper level that someone like me watching it couldn't see? You may recognise some of the characters potentially. I don't know.
I mean, there was a little bit of Mum and Annabella's character. I mean, I think as I was going to say PI, but I think there's in all society there's that person in our lives, Annabella's character. But in terms of anything relating to me personally, probably not. Yeah. I was just,
So your introduction to acting,
Yeah.
What did you want to be? When you were in secondary school, what did you want to be? Did you want to be a pro rugby player?
I wanted to be a dancer.
Like for who?
No, I didn't.
I'm just trying to think who was who would have been a big artist, like a dancer for MC Hammer.
Dude, no, I never. I've got no rhythm. Do you know it all started? I think it all started when I was primary school. We got up. The seed was planted when we got up.
Strathmore Primary
School. And I got up and made people laugh, and I thought, oh, this is cool. What's this all about? And then that's when it's kind of... And then during that period, I ended up... where was I? I was at St. Pat's Town in Wellington, and my drama teacher said... look, my casting mate's looking for 2 Polynesian for this ad. So me and my mate Noel and Henry went to audition for it. Did you listen to that?
Yeah, I did. I tried to find the ad. There's a couple of different stories online. Someone said it's an ad for a national party recruiting new cops.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. The one was Labour Party brought this thing about going back to school. So that the ad was all about that. So it was all these students walking down a corridor, and each room is possibly your career. So you could be a builder here, and then open another door. You could be a plumber there. So I was one of the boys in there. But I remember the audition. Just over. So on the audition, they said to it, okay, well, I want you guys to imagine that you're going down this corridor, and every time a door opens up to a classroom, you're just like, wow, get excited about it. So 3 of us, they filmed us. Soon we started like that. As soon as that happened, it was just like, it took over. It's like, wow. My 2 mates are going, wow, oh.
So it's like Disney's Child. You were desperate to be Beyonce.
Oh, but I didn't even know. It's just when they said actions, go, what does this mean? Yeah, wow. And I remember them on the bus, they were really quiet. And I said, what's wrong with you guys? He goes, yeah, no. We didn't even get a chance to audition because someone was always in front of the camera. They hogged the whole camera. Ended up getting the ad. But that was it. I turned up to set and they said, hey, how do I get more work like this? Get an agent. Look up the yellow white pages. They were happy. Went and saw them. And my career started from there.
Wow. Did your paths cross with Taika? You're a similar age. He would have been in Wellington at the same time?
We did Strip together.
Right.
The Strip.
The Strip. Oh, yeah, with Jodie Rimmer.
Jodie Rimmer, Luann Gordon. Who else was there? Yeah, Dave Farney. We crossed paths in the 2nd season of The Strip. He was one of the strippers.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to dish
Look
that
it up.
That's got to be on NZ on screen or somewhere.
Taika's probably no. So that's when we crossed paths. When me and T crossed paths, and then knowing each other. But then we also, when the Naked Samoans would do the Edinburgh Festival, the Edinburgh Comedy Festival, Jermaine, Brett, and Taika were there at the same time as well. So we kind of went around supporting each other's acts. So we've known each other, and then, working with Jermaine when we did skits way back then for Gibson Group. So we've known each other for a little bit. Then they're more successful than some of us.
You can't get into his gated community now.
Dude, can I tell you a story about Taika?
Yes, please.
Super Bowl. One of the Super Bowl, it was in LA. And I was there at the time seeing my girlfriend at the time. And we planned, me and my girlfriend planned, we'll just go to a bar and watch Super Bowl. I was staying at this hotel. Get a text from a man. He goes, bro, what are you doing? Oh, nothing much. Why? What are you doing for Super Bowl? I said, I'm just going to watch at the bar. And he goes, do you want tickets? I said, I showed my girlfriend, like, tickets to Super Bowl. He goes, yeah, if you're giving them away. Okay, sweet. We got tickets for you. He sent me 2 tickets to Super Bowl. That's when the Rams won in LA. Dude, and these seats were right in front. So I got to see Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, all those guys at halftime. It was unreal. And he had to sing, what a dude. And I said, Super Bowl. I thought I was in dreamland. I was just like, my girlfriend at the time saying, what the fuck?
Why did he not? What, did he have something else on?
He had spare tickets.
Right, spare tickets?
He has spare
Who's
tickets.
got spare
No,
tickets?
I think it was his tickets, but his Rita had tickets as well, so he had 2 tickets spare. So it was just like, dude, what are you doing? It was just that classic, hey, bro, what are you doing? Nothing. You want 2 tickets? 2 tickets at the Super Bowl?
Oh, that's so awesome.
Fuck.
When,
Yeah.
when did you realise it could be a viable career?
When I did commercials. Commercials back then paid big money. I scored a lotto strike. When Lotto Strike first came out, I was the face of it. So I was this guy that hit a strike, went out. So, and I got big money for that.
Well, how much?
I think we're talking thousands. I think probably
Wow.
for a kid at school, I think I'd probably about $8,000 or some shit, and that's a lot. And I thought, fuck, this is a. So I never went into it. I mean, it was the money thing for me when it first started off. But then, as I went on, it was just like I started to appreciate the art.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about it, just about how much you love theatre. But theatre's almost like a hobby or a passion project, but it's the ads and the other things that pay the bills.
My first theatre was with a good friend of mine, Victor Roger. I actually did one for, who was it, Circa down there, but I don't count that one.
Why?
Because I was just a token brown guy that came on, had sex with a white woman, and then that was it. That was basically it. I came on stage, nothing on, just a lover, have sex with her, and it goes, and see, that was me. So I don't count that one, but...
Yeah, the hunk reputation thing, has that been good or bad?
How do I answer that? It's helped. It's helped. For a long time, I was the guy that get your shit off. I was the get your shit off guy for a very long time. Now I'm old. I said, this fucking shirt's staying on. This shirt is freaking staying on.
Yeah, it's someone else's turn.
It's someone else's turn. But yeah.
What's the hardest thing about the acting industry that people outside don't get to see? I feel like you sort of alluded before with that quote before about people think you're rich or this.
I mean, put it this way. 2024, I landed Rescue High Surf, right? And for so many years, just that was the pinnacle, was to get work in US, right? And then I land that and think, okay, if this all goes well, there'll be a second season, third season, fourth season, blah, blah, blah. Financially, that's pretty good. We do the first season, and then we get cancelled and we don't get again. So it's back to the drawing board. I'm a little bit used to it now because I'm a little bit smarter with my money to help with the people that are good with money. But I have a love-hate relationship with what I do. I couldn't see myself doing anything else. But for example, this year, I've done one job, but that's in New Zealand, Other than that, nothing else. So I've just had to depend. The whole thing is about saving money, making sure that you can survive another year. Now it's all about topping up that little cup of... But it's a shit. It's when it rains, it pours, and when it's good, it's fantastic. But now I'm at that point now where I can sit back, and I've got things that keep me occupied as well. I love motorcycles. I love riding motorcycles. I've got my friends here. Which is one of the main reasons I come back here all the time, because all my close mates are still here. So, I've gotten used to it. I've gotten used, but it's a shit.
It's stressful living.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Because they're saying this too shall pass, and it's true. It means bad times will pass, but good times will as well.
Yeah. So because you get to America and money is ridiculous when you do it, and then you think, okay, here we go. But then the reality kicks in again, and I'm back to square one again, trying to get work. The one thing I am thankful for is because people know my work here. There's always work here for me, and also I have mates that are now in the position where they're doing their own stuff. So they'll just text me, goes, bro, do you want to be on this show? Without auditioning, There's still things that I still have to go through the whole auditioning thing. So it's never ending. But I think the trick is to have things outside of that to keep you occupied, so that doesn't drive you insane. For me, is motorcycles.
Right. Yeah. What do you get from motorcycles? What is that? Is it the freedom?
Freedom.
Are you a loner, or do you just have like a little loner part of you that needs to?
I like riding. I like when I first took up motors. Yeah, I like riding by myself, but I've also now got as you get older, and I'm sure it's the same with you. I have a community of people that I only go to. I've gotten to a part of my life that I don't need, because I was a huge people pleaser, but now it's part of my life thing because I don't need that person in my life. I don't need that person, just that person. And I want to be with that person until I die. So I've got that community here of men, of guys that I ride with, and women. And then I got, I don't know whether you know the Cox's Bay touch that we had. Yeah. So this year we had the 20th anniversary of same time, same day, rain or shine, didn't matter where. And that there, what started off, I was one of the OGs. And originally we started touch because in that period of our lives, people were either retiring from rugby but we needed something to do. We needed to play touch to earn a beer, was that whole thing, But now as we've gotten older, it's become like a support group for all the boys now. That during the 20 years, we've had wives, brothers, sisters that have passed. So that group there has been always there. It's a support group for all the boys. We've had people that shit had happened to them. We said, bro, we're here for you. I know that shit, but we're here for you. So there's a community of men that just look out for each other and support each other, which has been a godsend for me and a lot of those guys. Yeah,
that's so powerful. It's so cathartic, eh? Because no one gets to their 50s without some battle scars.
No. Oh, dude, there's some battle scars in there. But what is beautiful now is our sons, or the sons of the boys that are there, they started playing. Like they was playing when they were there, but now they're taking on that mantle. But it also, we're trying to encourage them that, keep doing this, bring more people in and have it as a support group instead of just having we do have a few beers and take the piss out of each other. That's all part of it. But when shit hits the fan, we are always there. We're always there for each other.
Yeah, well, I suppose like if it's someone that can roast you the hardest, they can also love you the hardest.
Dude, yeah. These guys will roast me. They're terrible. But I love it. I love it because I trust them. I know them. I've known them for over 20 years.
It's a good decade, the 50s. I reckon when I was in my 20s, I think I thought I had it all figured out. And then as you get older, the older I get, the realise the less I know. Yeah. And it's I like it.
Where you? What 50s are you?
52.
52.
What are you?
53.
Yeah. Why do you look so much better?
It's I use this moisturiser. It's called Forever Youthful.
I'm going to buy that. Chemist Warehouse? Farmers? Warehouse. Yeah. I got some. There's so much deep stuff here. Right? It's really good, but I feel like I need a few acting questions in here as well. Okay. So, Lord of the Rings. That was one of your big early projects that you were on.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that experience like?
I remember the first. I was actually telling my niece about this. It was me and Nathaniel Lee, another Polynesian actor, great actor. He lives down in Wellington. But we were the Urukai, I think we were. And we were down in Wellington. I remember the first time we were on the chair. I remember it was like 4:00. We got picked up, and then we were on the chair. 4:30 or something, or 5 o'clock. And I remember just getting there, and I just fell asleep, and they just went. Woke up about 3 hours later. Didn't even fucking recognise myself. I freaked out because all the prosthetic and stuff. But I only had a small role in that, but I do remember we were filming down in the South Island, and me and Nathaniel were put up in this homestead in Alexandra, I think it was. I think it might have been Alexandra. I swear, we turned up, so they knew that. So the production booked, they go, we've got 2 actors that's staying with you. They got all excited. We turn up in the van. We open the door. Dude, this woman that owned it was shocked to see 2 Polynesians. Okay, she just went, oh, hello. Because I think she thought there was just like these, these...
She would have been thinking, is it Suri and McKellen? Is it Elijah? Is it Orlando?
Like, Orlando. And there was just these two Samoans goes, hey. Oh, welcome. But it was just me and Nat in this freaking flash place. And then, we got a bottle of wine, took it down to the pool, watched the stars. The spa, we just drank it. They were great, but I think they were just shocked to see them coloured people.
In the South Island. These boys aren't local.
What did coloured people?
So, did you have anything to do with Sir Peter Jackson, or is the project so big that...
No, actually we did. There was one we shot in Wellington. It was a warehouse in Wellington, and he flew in from the South Island, I think. Filmed because 2 of the main characters were in that scene. So he flew in, and we were in the background. I never had anything because I was just in the background kind of extra. So a lot of the scenes were just with him and the main cast. So that was my only interaction with Peter Jackson. Then I think finished that and flew back down to South Island.
Naked Samoans is a project that's been another big part of your career. For anyone that's not familiar with Naked Samoans, how would you describe it? You're the only one that actually sort of got naked on stage.
You should get Dave Farney here.
I love Dave Farney. We were doing breakfast radio at the same time, and I often see him at Wild Bean at like 5 in the morning.
Right.
I was on my way to the Edge. He was on his way to Flavour, I think he was at.
Yeah, or Mars.
This isn't a sausage roll day.
The Naked Samoans. How would I describe the Naked Samoans? I know. For those that don't know, it was born from the fact that there was very little work for PIs on screen and stage. So the boys created this, created Naked Samoans so they can tell their story for our own people, which is now spread out to, I think that's it, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, it's very... How did you get connected with them? Were you the founder, or did you get...
No, I wasn't. So the original...
Hey, Bubba. Kanye, the little dog's just woken up.
Oh,
good boy.
The original, the OGs were David Farney, Oscar Kitely, Shimpao Lilisi, and Mario Ngawa. They were the OG. I came later on because they had another show where it needed a member, and that was I came on. I don't know what year, but I do remember me and Dave were working on the strip at the time when he asked me to be part of the Naked Samoans. And that was a few years ago. You
guys going to do some more stuff? Is it hard to get everyone together?
Funny enough, if there's rich people out there that want to fund us, nice. Because we did the comedy festival, the latest comedy festival. So we did, so that was earlier on this year we did that. But we want to do, there's a lot of people in LA that like the show and people in Hawaii. So we want to do a tour of either Hawaii or the US. Of our last show, which was Go Home. Go Home was, we did Go Home a few years ago. But
was it the Naked Samoans that sort of led to Sione's wedding?
Yeah,
one of the greatest and most successful New Zealand comedies ever.
Yeah, the late legend John Barnett saw the boys perform, And he said to his writer, I think it might have been James at the time, he said, we need to do a film with those guys. So, and that's how, and then James got in contact with Oscar, and Sione's Wedding was born.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then Shortland Street, you were on that for a couple of years. Dr. Maxwell Avia.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was that? Like, that must have been good, getting a regular, steady paycheck for a couple of years?
Yeah, those 3 years I did that.
Did you a steep learning curve as well, like doing that much acting?
Well, I've never been in that environment before, whether it's, it's multicams, it's like one here, one there, one there. So it's almost like performing on stage. So I never got used, that was a new world for me. That was fast turnaround TV for a long time. It's funny because I was a doctor. I think I was the first Polynesian doctor on that show. So I had all these medical terms. Heaps, man. And I just couldn't get them out. So I used to go to the writers and I said to them, hey, can you seriously, if we're going to finish the day, ease off of the medical terms? Can't I just say Nurofen? Paracetamol? Can't I just say that without the actual medical term? And they said, oh, Robbie, you're so funny. No. But
was it enjoyable though?
It was enjoyable. You know, the thing is about Shortland Street is you have got a steady income for a year. Yeah, and then you negotiate the contract again. But I always say to myself, when I get bored of this, I'm gone. So after the third year, I got bored and I left. And there, see, Shortland Street can be also no, I won't say trap, but it's that consistent income.
Golden handcuffs.
Yes. So which is why I think a lot of people stay behind. But for me, it was just like, nah, once I'm done, I'm out. And then Wentworth came along.
How come you... Okay, so Wentworth, Australian prison show, set in Melbourne, 8 seasons, 100 episodes as Will Jackson.
Yeah.
How come you got bored of Shortland Street and you didn't get bored of Wentworth? That's a big stint on one show.
2 different shows. 2 different shows in terms of, Shortland Street soap. Wentworth, it's in terms of drama and story. It's next level. But that's where they kind of sat. Apart from the last season of Wentworth, loved it. It was the first show that challenged me as an actor. There was one season there. There was 2 seasons there where I really, really enjoyed because it was focused on Will. But
is that show bigger in Australia or NZ?
It's huge around the world, dude. Yeah. I'm doing a Wentworth Con. Still exists. They have Wentworth Con in America, Canada, UK, and it's still going to this day. There's still fans out there that are still,
Where's the weirdest place a Wentworth fan has hit you up?
I had one lady turn up in a wedding dress and said, "I'm here to marry you, Will." It freaked the shit out of me. I got to know her. I know she was joking. I got to know her. She was lovely, but it was like just a complete wedding dress and said, "I'm here to marry you." I said, but they're, you know what? I'm not going to give. They are intense. They are very intense. Our fans, but loyal to the bone. It still goes.
Yeah.
I'm doing one in Sydney. Next year in February.
What acting goals do you still have, if any? Is it a career where you can have goals, or are you sort of at the mercy of?
For a long time, I just wanted to do an acting thing and achieve that. That's still my goal, but I think I want to probably explore behind the camera, either producing. I think producing probably I'd want to get stuck into, not directing. I don't think I'd be a good director.
What's the difference?
Well, the director, it's on set. He's the one that controls. He's the one that tells the story on set. Producer, there's all sorts of producers. There's the guy that looks for the money, and there's a guy that looks for the talent kind of thing. So there's all sorts of, limbs when it comes to producing. I just want to learn how it all works behind the scene, because I'm getting to that period of my career that, there's not much work for me around. So I need to produce my own stuff, which is a lot of what people back in US are doing, Guys like Ben Affleck, got their own production company, so then they can work, so get the work, create the work, their own work.
Is it glaringly obvious how much the work dries up as you age? Or is it just the sort of roles?
It's just the
you
roles.
go from being the hunk to being...
Well, I think at the moment there was one that I auditioned for. Well, I wanted to get an audition for, asked for an audition, but which I think I'm falling in. I was either too young or too old. So I'm now in that gap as he's too,
no man's land.
Yeah, no man's land at the moment. So I need to be 60 before I can get the roles.
The dad roles.
Yeah, the dad roles. I mean, I'm getting the dad roles at the moment, but yeah.
Yeah. How comfortable are you talking about your brother, reflecting about your brother, Poos?
Poos. Yeah.
Is it hard to talk about?
I mean, there are things that I'm happy to talk about, but there's also things that I don't want to tap into.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I think for me, yeah, ask me questions about that.
Okay. May 11, 2019. Mm-hmm. What are your memories of that day?
I was at home. 3 o'clock in the morning, I get a call from Paul's twin. Didn't answer it. Then he called again, didn't answer it. Third time I answered it, and Tana was on the phone saying, "Hey," and he said, "Yeah, Pooh's just passed." Didn't register that. I said, "What?" I said, "Poor passed away." I went, "What the fuck?" So it didn't really hit me until later on. So what had happened was I hung up. I tried to call my brother just to let him know, let him know. He wasn't answering his phone. So I got in the car and drove to his place, knocked on the door, and I told him. And I hung out there for a little bit. Then I went back home, and that's when it hit. I was just like, in my room, uncontrollable emotion. It was just like, it really hit. I was on the floor, pouring my eyes, just like angry at what had happened. So, yeah.
Because I don't think anyone can. I mean, there's a lot of people that'll be listening to this or watching this whose lives have been impacted by a suicide. But I don't think there's anything that can prepare you for that sort of level of shock and grief and everything. And there was there was a quote from you. I saw this in an article. You talk about connecting with your mum, and she was wailing and saying, "I was supposed to go first."
Yeah, that's when we brought Paul's body to my brother's house, when his body arrived at my brother's house, she was just, that was hard to, that was tough. As she was walking in with him, and it was just like, it should be me. It should be me, it's not you. You
mentioned earlier that you think that losing a son sort of accelerated her
possibly,
demise into, how could it not?
Yeah.
I mean, how could it not have an impact? It's terrible. Do you remember your last conversation with him? How close were you guys? Was it you just? I'm just thinking of me and my brother. He lives in Perth.
Yeah,
we can go for months without speaking to each other, but the love is still there. Or we text every few weeks. Were you were you close? Like,
I was close with Poos. Yeah, I was close. Poos had a different relationship with all his bros, but our relationship was because I took up writing, he took up writing. I took up acting, he started to take up acting. So he kind of followed my path, and he was always proud to say that. So our connection was through the one, he was my little bro, and two is because of the industry that we decided to take on. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the last conversation I did have with him. But
you're not expecting it to be something poignant or profound, are you?
No.
Because it's just a call with your bro.
Yeah, well, it's like your question before about mum. When was the last conversation you had with your mum that she understood? I don't know. And I suppose that's the other thing as well, when it's taking one, making that effort to get in contact with the people that you love, because you just don't know now, you know. But yeah, that was tough. I mean, the shitty thing about me now is, you know, as the years have gone on, you know, I do remember this. There are certain songs that reminds me of him, but I don't. It doesn't enter my mind as much anymore like it used to, and that's the fucked up thing about, you know, our lives, you know. But we still, you know, we still celebrate him on the 19th of May. So it'll be coming up to 7 years, I think. Yeah.
Did you think he was capable of taking his own life?
I had no idea. No idea at all. I knew he had demons, but I didn't know how dark it is. But I also think the person he was with at the time did not help him. She wasn't the right person for Paul at the time. Personally, I think they probably contributed to why he took, you know. But I think he also had deep demons that he needed to, yeah.
Yeah, show me a person that doesn't have demons or flaws, and I mean, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are very quick to judge, though, aren't they?
Dude,
it's shocking.
We had to. Oh man, I mean, I've never spoken about it, but luckily I've got two mates, good two mates that kind of guided me through that whole shit with media, and basically they said, look, don't add any more fuel to the fire. Just let it go. It'll be there for a week and go. But the people that really pissed me off were the Herald. New Zealand Herald really pissed me off. There was one reporter there. It was just going for it. And I was saying to myself, dude, my bro took his life. How much? What? That's the worst. That's the ultimate punishment. But they kept on bringing it up, and you know, and we kept quiet. You know, we were told just to keep quiet. Don't add any more fuel to that fire. So yeah, I don't have a nice thing to say about New Zealand Herald. Yeah.
So you're never going to be fucking with them again?
No.
No, New Zealand Herald podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the ultimate price, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the thing. That blew my mind. Was like this. Bo just took his life. What else do you want? You still want to fucking anyway?
Yeah. Yeah, so the demons you're talking about is domestic violence related, which isn't pretty, but you know, yeah, and I don't want to minimise it, but it's like it's not you're not going to get capital punishment for it, which is the penalty that he paid. Yeah, is it frustrating for you that you could have helped him find a way through this? You could have helped him navigate. Yeah.
I did not know.
But if he picked up the phone and told you, you'd be like, "Bro, this is not the end of the world. We can
well, the thing is with Poos, he had people that could confide on, but even, you know, they didn't know about it either. You know, and I mean, it's one of those things you look back and goes, "Oh shit, that's a sign right there." Maybe he was trying to reach out there. No one knew. You know.
Where's his urn? Have you got his urn?
I have.
Yeah, is that in
he
LA?
travels. He's in LA at the moment,
right?
So all of us have got one, but he travels with me everywhere I go. He travelled with me in Hawaii, but now that I've got my home is there, he just stay there. When I'm travelling, he's always with me.
He had a daughter from a previous relationship. How old's Jasmine now?
Sorry, Josie, 13.
Oh, Uncle Robbie.
13? 14? 13, 14?
Yeah, I don't know how old my nieces and nephews are either. But like, is there anything you do to keep her dad's memory alive? Like, what stories you tell about him?
No, because Josie's mother is phenomenal, and Josie's mother's husband, they're phenomenal with her, and she knows. She's old enough to figure it out. So she always, she has, yeah. she knows, when that time comes around, she does have memory of her father. But so when
I've got a quote from you from your Instagram. It's been a year since my beloved brother Pua took his life. There is not a single day that I don't think of him. He's with me. I hold his ashes. Music sets me off. Songs he loved. Love songs usually, and grieving is just part of our lives now. Pua wasn't perfect, but he tried. Shit, that's emotional, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough.
How long was it before you could, we've talked about him for maybe 5 or 7 minutes here.
Yeah.
How long was it before you could talk about him at this length without getting emotional?
I've always spoken about him. I mean, there were things that I didn't want to talk about, but I've always been open like that with his passing. So yeah, and that was part of my healing as well, was being open. Which has helped me a lot. But yeah, I've always been open about it. I mean, I think the stuff with the Herald, that was the first time I've ever seen anything about that. But I know, they fucking pissed me off. They really pissed. There's one reporter there. She really pissed me off. So
yeah, it's clickbait, isn't it?
Oh fuck yeah! Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
that's and unfortunately that's the thing. Yeah, that's what society lives on now. I do, but I always the last time I did speak, I had a good chat with him was when I finished in Hawaii. Before the job actually started, I was fortunate enough to have a place right by the beach. So the beach was my backyard, and I remember going in the water and saying, "We're here. This is us. We're here." And when I finished, I went for a swim. It was fucking pissing down, and I went and I said, "We did it. We did it." Had a cry, then packed my stuff in and back to LA. So I did my journey now, and for a lot of his family and close friends, it's for him. Yeah. Because I personally think if he was around, he'd be killing it in LA. Pua was phenomenal. Pua was a phenomenal performer.
In what way?
And a great actor.
How was he different to you?
Well, one, he could act. Two, he was. I actually think he was a little bit better than me. And he could move. That boy could move. He was a true performer. He had everything. He had all the tools. Could sing, could dance, could act. And he had a range as well. So, yeah.
The way you're able to talk about him now, 6-7 years on, it says to me that it does get easier over time.
It does get easier.
For anyone that's listening to this, that's in the trenches at the moment, like in the first year or whatever. What would your message to them be about grief?
About grief, it's do that. From my personal, for me personally, in terms of me getting over that, well, I did the work as well. I saw someone about it. I had regular sessions with her. That helped. Me, I was always open about it. I never kind of suppressed anything, and I felt that's how I healed. And also, cliche as this may sound, just have the people that have someone around that you can trust, that you can talk to. And you don't have to. The one thing about grief is people think they have to say something to make it better. No, just sit there. Just sit there and be with that person. That's what I would say, and let them talk.
Are they tools that you got from like observation and learnings, or are they what you got from therapy? What did you get from therapy?
It was just being able to talk about everything. Why, what could I have done? Why didn't I see it? All that, because there was a lot of blame as well. I wasn't there for my bro. Why didn't he come to me? Kind of thing, and then just dealing with how to continue life without him. The possibility that I might do that. So it's all those things.
Yeah, you did, yeah. I had a friend that took his own life in quite a violent fashion, and this guy was life of the party.
Yeah.
If there's a 2020 cricket match on, he's the guy that you'd see on TV on the big screen. He's that guy wearing the Tui shirt trying to get the one-handed catch. And when he did this, I thought, fuck, if he's capable of this, then am I?
Yeah.
And
but then is that a mask? Being the life of the party. Because poos was
100%.
also.
Yeah.
Is that a mask?
Yeah.
But you can't pick. You don't pick it up. You don't know. Did you pick it up?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No clue. So it does get easier?
Does get easier. Does get easier. I mean, songs for me, his favourite songs still get me.
What are they?
It's usually Babyface or anything by Babyface or Boys to Men. His songs.
They've got one song, like a ballady one called Water Runs Dry.
Who's that?
Boys to Men.
Yeah.
Let's not wait till the water runs dry.
Yeah.
Oh my God, does that set you off?
Used to, not anymore. I smile now when I hear the songs. Earlier on, I used to cry, but now I smile at that now. It does get easier, but you've also got to do the work.
Yeah.
And it's not one of those things.
Oh, that's encouraging.
Yeah.
That's inspirational. What do you think happens when you die? Is there an afterlife? Like, I suppose what I'm asking is, do you ever feel his presence?
Yeah, how?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
A lot of us do. I think during Tinara as well, his presence was there for everyone.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. For the actors, and also, part of the reasons why, part of the motivation for Mickey was for Pua, for that film. I don't know whether you've seen the credits in the end there, to our loving brother, Paul Magasiva. So, and he was present, and I know the actors were in it as well. They felt his presence. So he's always around. But in terms of asking your question, what happens when I die? I love the whole. I'm not a religious person. I think probably an atheist, if anything. But what I do believe, which I'm recently believed, is, tangaroa, which is something with most Pacific Island, like in Aotearoa, there's a certain point, like Cape Reinga, that's where the spirits go back into the water. In Hawaii, it's the same thing. Tonga, Samoa. That's where I want to go. That's my belief, is where I'm going to go back to, join my ancestors and stuff.
Yeah, you feel Pua around though.
Yeah.
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 Do you talk to him?
Used to. Yeah, I don't talk to him as much anymore. But I do acknowledge him when I feel him. Feel him around.
So I suppose any family that goes through like a shocking grief like this has their own way of dealing with it, and there's no right or wrong. But how do the Magasivas do it? Like, when you have a family get together, is it sort of like the elephant in the room? Has absence?
No, it's not that. No, it's. I think all my bros kind of had their different ways of dealing with it.
Yeah.
I never questioned it because that's them, but I was always open. So yeah, everyone did. My sister was probably a little bit similar to me in terms of being open about it, but my other bros, they just dealt with it in their own way, and I never questioned that kind of thing. So okay, if that works for you, great. I'm not going to say, hey, maybe open up and do this and that. It's like, I'll let you guys do that.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing this stuff. Yeah.
Sweet.
Is it easy enough for you to share, or?
It's easier now. It's easier now. But the shitty thing is, it happens more regularly now. That's a shitty thing. I just don't think that people are. What I hear is just a simple thing is breaking up. People taking their lives. I just don't think people out there are prepped enough or know or have that support. I don't know what it is, but I hear, whether that's a media where social media is more accessible now, but I hear it a lot, and it saddens me now, kind of thing.
Yeah, because it's a very permanent solution to what is always a temporary problem.
Yeah. It seems to be the first thing. What I hear seems to be that's the first thing. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. If I can't deal with what is happening, I'm going to do that. I don't want to be here. Boom, gone.
Yeah.
And it saddens me that those people, that they don't have the support, or they haven't, done. I don't know. It just saddens me. It saddens me that that's their out.
Yeah, it's seen as a viable option.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be off the
table. And it's common.
Completely.
It's more common now.
How's your mental health been? I know we've talked a bit about therapy.
Pretty good.
We've talked about your rough patch and Actually, maybe there's stuff that you were going with post-COVID and, which we talked about at the beginning. Yeah. Maybe it was like a whole lot of strands, like COVID.
I think I need
your brother.
I think the university has weird ways of telling you the change you. But I think I needed to go through that. Definitely needed to go through that. And because I'd hate to think what would happen if I hadn't gone through it, but it was just a way of the universe saying, hey, you need to open up your eyes or what. It's actually the problem, that you're the problem with you. But to answer your question, me, I'm great. I'm in a good place at the moment. We've got someone that cares for me and my kids, love my kids, and they're good, they're healthy. I've got as I spoke before, a community of people that I want to be around.
Have you? You mentioned you touch rugby lads before. Have you always been good at the sort of vulnerability piece and talking like openly about crunchy stuff, or is this something that's sort of come recently?
I think it's something that came recently with. I don't know. I was going to be so open about stuff until, It was weird because it just came out. That last podcast that I did, it just came out. And I don't know, I didn't think about it. I was just like, you asked me a question, this is my answer. I ain't going to hold anything back. So I don't know, possibly.
It's a very liberating space to play in, when you take the guardrails off and you're not self-censoring.
Yeah.
You're just speaking your truth.
Yeah. But I've also got mates, I've got mates that within that touch community that I can talk to about that, that are open to having that sort of conversation. And same with with my writing mates, we can have those open conversation. And I think being around people that have been open, maybe I'm just drawn to that. I'm drawn to those people that are open about how they feel.
Yeah, I'm the same. You got friends that you can talk to, and friends that you just want to get pissed with.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're both fine. There's a space for all of them.
Yeah.
Do you like who you are?
Do I?
You just scrunch your face up.
No, because I initially, if you would have asked me that question a few years ago, I said no. But I'm having to think about, I do.
Why would you have said no a few years ago?
That's a lot of shit.
You and I have sort of known each other, just sort of casually, like little conversations here and there for maybe 20 years.
Yeah.
You've always been just charming, funny, nice, charismatic, and a good man. I'd say a good man.
But there were demons,
Never an asshole.
Have I been an asshole?
Never.
I can be an asshole. I'm a Taurus. I'm stubborn as fuck, man.
But everyone can be an asshole. Push the right button.
No, but to answer your question, no, I am. I'm happy with myself. And I like who I am now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you still working on as a man?
Nothing. Nothing. Yeah. I don't know. I will tell you if I do, but at the moment, there's nothing. There's nothing that I need to. Maybe there is. I don't know.
Your definition of success, how's that changed over the years?
My definition of success it's hard to say. It's hard with what I do. I would think my success would be how I am as a father. That would be a success for me, is how I've brought up my kids and how they are now as human beings, and that would be a success. I wouldn't say I don't think I'm at that point of my career where I'm saying I am successful. It's still a work in progress, but in terms of being a dad and being the work that I've done, I've succeeded in that. I mean, there's still things to be done, but yeah, I would. Successful for me would be being a good dad.
Yeah, so you've got two, both in their 20s. They still both talk to you at the moment?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, 100%.
They do.
100%.
My daughter more than my son, but my son, he rings me. He rings me now. But,
what do you mean now?
I never used to get calls from him. I used to call him all the time, but now he's amazing. We actually have really good conversation. Like we would talk for an hour, and but my daughter always rings, or yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that's the reflective of the seasons of life, right?
Yeah.
Like there's periods where you need to be, but that seems like the Palangi way as well.
Yeah,
Like, get to 18, 19, fly the coop, ignore your parents for a few years.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like the Samoan way.
There was a time that my dad, I love him, but you always used to. My son would just call me. I knew what he'd be calling for, to ask for money. That was the only time. But now that's changed. He just calls me. It's like, oh, I'm off to work, Dad. Okay, have a bit of a catch up. But
did they miss out on having you around much as little kids because you were focused on your career goals? There's only so many hours in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I always remember. Because me and their mum split up very early, and our main focus was our babies. So there was never. So I remember everything was split down the middle. I would have my stuff, she would have our stuff. School fees split down the middle. Anything. And to this day, we're great mates. Their mum. There were times that I was down in Wellington for work. And that's when their mum had been really supportive of. If I had to go for work, I'd put a little bit more money in their account just to balance it out. But their mum Alice had been amazing with when it comes to my work. Because,
yeah. So she's not the one you were married to, eh?
No.
So the one you were married to, that's you met her when you were a receptionist at Saatchi & Saatchi.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Hot receptionist.
Well, I was a receptionist at Saatchi's down in Wellington. It was two guys, and it was me and another guy named Semi. And it was two, and I think in the advertising world back then, it was just like these two Polynesian boys. Like when they came into our reception, like we were famous down in Wellington for our reception because they would come in, we would have the music or playing the guitar. It was never that professional. We were professional, but the clients used to love and appreciate that because you'd come in and there's two big Samoan goes, "Hey, what's up?"
Like a real vibe.
Come sit down. Yeah, they were brilliant. And they said, "Oh, shit, what's this?" "Oh, advertising agency." And so we had a reputation of being amazing down there, and we had fun as well. They let us. They let us just do our thing. And the clients used to love that, They'd come in and we would know the clients by name. And then when I moved to Auckland, I transferred to the Auckland one. And I did the same thing, but it wasn't with my mate, Semi. But she walked in and that was it. Yeah,
so that's the only time you've been married.
Yeah.
Would you get married again? What are your thoughts on that?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was important to the other person.
If it was important to the other person. I'm not bothered either way. But
that's the position I'm in.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Because it sucks, eh? Like these things really take it out of you, and you feel like a failure, and there's like guilt, regret, shame, I guess, all that sort of stuff that goes along with it.
Yeah. No, I'd marry again. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Would you?
Yeah, if it was Yeah, not for myself. I feel like I've done that.
I've done it too.
I've done that.
Like you, I've done it. I had an amazing time.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
What kind of legacy matters to you the most? As an actor, a father, a man? Is it something you think about at all?
No, not really. No, I don't. It puts a lot of pressure on yourself to leave a legacy behind. I mean, if I was to answer the question again, it'd be being a dad. Being an amazing dad.
I suppose the impact you make on their lives. The next, not that I want to accelerate this or put your kids under any pressure, but I suppose the grandparent piece will be next.
Yeah.
You'll be a granddad.
I know.
If any grandkids you have happen to listen to this episode one day, what would you like them to hear? What would you like them to take away from their granddad?
I would just say to my grandkids that I did the best I can with your parents, and I think I did okay. And just don't be dickheads.
If that was a message from your granddad to you, would you have listened to it?
Oh, hell yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
No, you wouldn't.
They wouldn't listen.
No, there's that saying that youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah.
I think you need to learn the lessons when your time's right.
Yeah. No, just be nice. Just be good people.
Yeah.
Just be good people.
What brings you peace these days?
my own company.
Does it? Yeah. You crave
yeah.
a bit of solitude. That's why I
Yeah, I
wondered
do.
about the motorbike thing before.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that as well, in with motorbikes. But I don't, because I think I've been alone not alone, not that I choose to be alone, but because of the line of work that I do, I'm always, I'm either here or somewhere else, and I'm by myself. I've gotten used to I'm comfortable being with myself. I crave that. I crave my time.
That's just the dogs.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same. Like I've got
It's an age. I reckon it's an age thing. Do you reckon it's an age thing?
Potentially, yeah. I've got a very small social battery. Like it gets charged up very easily.
Yeah.
And then I'm fine. Just leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah. I'm like that as well.
Yeah.
Like when I had my
good. A
parents.
lot of people just cannot be in their own thoughts.
No. And it blows my mind. I love being. Yeah, I love my downtime.
Are you quite emotional these days? We cried earlier, like talking about your mum and her dementia. But before that, like when was the last time you cried?
I cried everything.
Yeah. Have you always been this way?
No, I think as I've gotten older, I cry. I mean, even when I was walking around the home, I was crying. Instagram videos, some Instagram videos about family. I cry when I see, those reels of people surprising their friends or they haven't seen. I cried at those. That's what I cry. Yeah.
You're in an emotional state if a TikTok can set you off.
Dude.
It's good though, eh?
Yeah.
It's a wonderful emotion.
I
it's an
embrace
emotion
it.
that I think I suppressed through my 20s.
But I embrace it. I don't care. It's just like.
What are you most afraid of?
I think. What am I most? I don't know, Dom. What am I? It's not dying. Definitely won't be dying because, probably getting dementia.
Is that a genetic thing?
I think so.
Yeah.
That would freak me out.
Because you've seen it firsthand.
I've seen it firsthand. But I also, my mindset at the moment is just I don't want to go through that. I want to go knowing that I had a proper conversation with the ones I love, not remembering a conversation. That's when I want to go. I don't want to be around. I don't want to be a burden to anyone because although my mum's still my mum, but she's not my mum. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, not the woman.
Not the woman that I know. So I don't know. I'm just trying to figure. It's weird because I'm trying to figure that out. How do I leave this world? At that, if I am diagnosed with dementia, how do I figure out when to go? Because I've got to convince someone.
Or like a euthanasia.
Yeah.
Or no.
Yeah, I don't want to be. I don't want to be.
Okay. But say your mum said to you, Robbie, I've got dementia. It's only going to get worse. I need you to sign the paperwork on this. What are you going to say? You say hell no.
No, she doesn't remember, so it doesn't matter now.
Yeah.
She's gone past that point. Whether I have control right now, so I'm just in my mind, and my kids will hate me for this, but I'm seriously thinking on how I can convince someone when you see the signs where I'm forgetting conversation. I think about it lots after being around when I'm around my. I think about it. I don't want to be here. I want to remember. That's my point in life right now is just tick boxes. I want to tick boxes and make sure that someday when I'm sitting on the deck or something, having a word, talking to my grandson or whatever, I said, I've done everything I can. I can go now. I'm happy to go, but if I have dementia, I don't want to be around.
It seems like the Robbie Magasiva we've met today is in a good space.
I am.
Yeah.
I am in a really good space at the moment.
One final question. So the show's sponsored by the Generate KiwiSaver scheme and they're leaders in KiwiSaver performance. I just want to know who's behind your performance so you can put that into your day-to-day life. So you're the guy on the screen. You're the guy getting the awards. Who's the team behind Robbie Magasiva's success?
Well, cliche, but mum and dad. My why is my kids. And I would probably see my community would be the people, but first and foremost is mum and dad, and then my wife.
Are you proud of yourself?
I always have to think about it, Don, because in the past, like I said before, like in the past, I was just like, no, I'm not proud of myself, but I am. It's weird though, that conversation, like, you know, you asking me, are you in a good place? I've never thought about it. I'm thinking about it now. I am in a good place. Just more acting work and I'd be perfect.
Taika!
Yeah.
Taika! Your job's for the boys.
Anyone out there, I need work.
You need
hire me.
I had Timmy Morrison recently for a podcast, and he's got like Jason Momoa, who's sort of like taking him under his wing. Yeah, do you want to be adopted by Jason Momoa in an acting sense?
Oh, please.
Just any.
No, I'm on my own tour. I like being by myself and carving my own path. But it'd be nice. I actually met him once. I only met Jason once, but he was awesome because it was at the rugby. I'll tell this story quick. It was at the rugby. He was there. You know how the All Blacks, you get invited to the box. He was there, and I took my daughter, and she goes, "Oh my God, it's Jason." And me and Jason know a guy. He's a legend. His name's Brian Kilana, Uncle Brian, back in Hawaii. So I went up to him and I said, "Bro, I know Uncle Brian. Blah blah blah. My daughter just wants a photo. Is that okay?" And he goes, "Yes, sweet, bro. But keep it down wrapped because I don't want people coming up to me." So we took a little photo with her, my daughter, him, and me. And he said, "Sweet, thanks, Bella." Walked off. I thought, sweet.
That's so.
That was the first time I met him.
Wow.
But it was.
Did he know who you were?
We had, because Uncle Brian works with him a lot. And he'd been working on the show that I was on, so he would have probably, yeah.
Hey, this has been a great podcast today.
I hope so, Dom. I always feel paranoid because, oh God, what a boring fart.
Yeah, you can't.
Just edit it.
You're like this. This is going to be the shortest one ever. I'm nervous. I've got nothing to say.
I got nothing to say.
I disagree.
Although, I have to disagree. I have, like you've opened, like some of the question that you did say. Are you happy? Like I was always my biggest critic was myself. But to answer your question, when you asked me a question, are you happy with yourself? I was like, yeah, I am actually. Are you proud of yourself? Yeah, I am. Because I'm in a good space. I'm in a good space at the moment. Yeah.
And what about your parents? Are they proud of you?
Yeah. I know they are.
What more is there?
Yeah.
Robbie Magasiva, you're a great New Zealander. Thank you, my bro.
Thank you,
It's been awesome.